Welcome to a journey unlike any other, a descent into the ancient and forbidden, a reclamation of power lost to time, dogma, and fear. For thousands of years, the name Solomon has echoed through scripture, legend, and occult tradition. He is remembered as a wise king, a builder of temples, a ruler of nations. But few know the true Solomon, the master of angels and spirits, the architect of Magick systems so precise, so powerful, that they were hidden, burned, and demonized by the very religions that claim to preserve his memory. You're not here by accident. You've been called, maybe by curiosity, maybe by purpose, maybe by something far older. You are about to discover what lies behind the veil of myth and scripture. You are about to enter the world of the greater key and the lesser key of Solomon, texts that were never meant for the faint of heart. In this series, we will cover it all. A who King Solomon really was. A what life was like in his era, spiritually, politically, and ritually. A how he came to possess divine knowledge and occult authority. The differences between the greater and lesser keys. A detailed walkthrough of the 72 angels of the greater key, and how to summon them. A deep dive into the 72 spirits of the Goetia, and the real secrets behind their powers. Rituals, tools, and protocols for summoning both safely and effectively. And how modern religion twisted Solomon's legacy to keep you disempowered and obedient. But most importantly, this is about you. This is about reclaiming your birthright as a sovereign soul, one with the ability to command, manifest, protect, and transform reality using the same forces Solomon once ruled. If you're here, it means you're ready. Not to serve, but to lead. This is not just a history. This is a map. And if you follow it, carefully, consciously, and courageously, you'll hold the same keys that once opened the gates of heaven and hell alike. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Who was King Solomon? King Solomon stands as a towering figure in ancient history, a ruler whose story bridges the realms of myth, religion, and magic. He is best known as the son of King David and Bathsheba, ascending to the throne of Israel around 970 BCE. His reign marked the apex of Israel's power, culture, and spiritual influence. But beyond his political achievements, King Solomon is revered and feared for his mastery of the arcane. Solomon is remembered in the Abrahamic religions as a wise and just ruler. In the Bible, he is the one who asked God not for riches, but for wisdom, and in return, was granted both. He famously judged a dispute between two women claiming the same child, offering to split the baby in two to reveal the true mother. This tale has been cited for millennia as proof of his sharp intellect and divine insight. But these surface-level stories only hint at the deeper, hidden truth. Beneath the biblical king is a mystic, a magus, and a master of divine and infernal forces. According to occult traditions, and supported by various Jewish, Islamic, and Christian sources, Solomon possessed secret knowledge given to him either by angels or directly by God. He was not only able to speak with animals, but also had command over jinn and demons. He was said to possess a ring engraved with the seal of Solomon, a sigil of immense power that granted him authority over spiritual entities. With this ring, he summoned, constrained, and compelled spirits to serve his will. The Apocryphal Testament of Solomon, a foundational occult text, claims Solomon interrogated 72 spirits, known later as the Goetia, demanding their names, functions, and weaknesses. He then sealed them in a brass vessel and bound them beneath the Temple of Jerusalem to serve him in constructing the holiest of structures. These same spirits, with their seals and characteristics, are recorded in the Lesser Key of Solomon, one of the most powerful grimoires in Western Magick tradition. Solomon's influence extends far beyond Judaism. In Islamic tradition, he is called Suleiman, a prophet who was granted dominion over the winds, birds, and jinn. The Quran describes him as a powerful leader who could hear the language of ants and command invisible armies. He is seen not only as a prophet, but as a magician king of divine favor. In Kabbalistic and Western esoteric systems, Solomon is often seen as the archetypal alchemist, balancing the opposites, merging the heavenly and the earthly. The very temple he built is considered an allegory for the spiritual body, a sacred place constructed by harmonizing the 7 planetary forces and aligning them with divine will. He is central to Freemasonic law as well. In Masonry, Solomon's temple is not just a building, but a symbol of internal enlightenment, sacred geometry, and divine architecture of the soul. His wisdom forms the core of secret initiations, rituals, and teachings passed down through mystery schools for centuries. What makes Solomon truly unique is that his power was not based on blind faith, brute force, or fear, but on spiritual technology. Through symbols, incantations, planetary timing, sacred names, and ritual preparation, Solomon mastered the structure of the invisible world. He walked between heaven and earth, commanding the cooperation of angels and demons alike. He did not worship the spirits. He ruled them. And in doing so, he set the standard for all magicians who came after. Whether you are working with angels, invoking planetary intelligences, or evoking spirits for wealth or justice, the system you are using, whether you realize it or not, descends from Solomon. To understand the greater and lesser keys, you must understand the man who commanded both the divine and the damned, and did so not as a slave or supplicant, but as a sovereign. King Solomon was not just a king. He was the blueprint for the magician-king archetype, the embodiment of wisdom, dominion, and spiritual mastery. Chapter 2. What was life like during King Solomon's era? To understand Solomon's magic, we must understand his world. Life during Solomon's reign, roughly the 10th century BCE, was a blend of sacred ritual, architectural ambition, and theocratic power. His kingdom, known as the United Monarchy, was at its zenith, commanding wealth, international alliances, and cultural prestige. Spiritual life. Solomon ruled not just as a political figure, but as a high priest of a sacred kingdom. Religion permeated every aspect of daily life. The Israelites worshipped a singular, formless God, YHWH, but the rituals they practiced had deep roots in earlier Egyptian, Mesopotamian, and Canaanite systems. Sacrifices, incense offerings, purifications, and oracular consultation were common. Solomon's temple became the center of divine communion, housing the Ark of the Covenant and serving as a gateway between the divine and human realms. Hygiene and purification. Cleanliness was not just cultural, it was spiritual. Ritual impurity barred one from participating in sacred ceremonies. Daily washing, mikvahs, ritual baths, and the use of sacred oils were integral. Clothing had to be unblended, pure linen or wool, and priests wore garments embedded with symbolic stones, colors, and patterns that corresponded to divine forces. Clothing and ornamentation. Clothing signified class, purity, and function. Priests wore robes adorned with blue, scarlet, and gold threads, and the high priest bore a breastplate set with 12 stones, each representing a tribe of Israel and an aspect of divine consciousness. Nobles adorned themselves with gold jewelry and aromatic resins imported from Sheba, India, and Arabia. Family and marriage. Marriage was both sacred and strategic. Solomon himself is said to have had 700 wives and 300 concubines, many of them foreign princesses. These alliances were not only political but spiritual. Each wife brought her own customs and gods, and Solomon's kingdom became a melting pot of esoteric traditions, sacred rites, and secret teachings. Architecture and sacred geometry. Solomon's temple was a masterpiece of sacred geometry, constructed with proportions aligned to the heavens. Hiram Abiff, the master builder sent from Tyre, brought Phoenician masonry secrets, what modern Freemasonry holds as the foundation of its craft. The temple's structure echoed divine architecture, incorporating symbolism of the Tree of Life, zodiacal alignment, and cosmic gateways. Astrology and timekeeping. Time wasn't tracked by clocks, but by stars. The calendar was lunar. Feasts and rituals aligned with new moons, equinoxes, and planetary transits. Solomon's magic required precise timing. He understood planetary days and hours, the virtues of each angelic force, and the energetic weather of the cosmos. Esotericism and practical magic. Incense was not just fragrance. It was a vehicle for spirit contact. Amulets, talismans, spoken names, and divine inscriptions were in daily use among priests, healers, and mystics. Solomon's society was one where divine presence was assumed, and communication with other realms was not feared, but cultivated. To live in Solomon's kingdom was to live in a temple. The world was not separate from the divine, it was infused with it. And Solomon stood as the mediator between the realms. Chapter 3. The origins of the greater and lesser keys of Solomon. The greater key and lesser key of Solomon, collectively known as the Solomonic grimoires, are the crown jewels of Western occult tradition. But where did they come from? These texts are said to be derived from the original teachings of Solomon himself. According to legend, Solomon recorded divine knowledge passed to him by angels, as well as the names, functions, and methods for commanding spirits. Some claim these works were hidden in the temple, guarded by initiates and secret societies for centuries. What we have today are manuscripts compiled in medieval Europe between the 14th and 17th centuries, most notably a Clavicular Solomon's, Greater Key, Leamington or Lesser Key, which includes the Ars Goetia. Though compiled later, these texts are believed to be the remnants of much older scrolls, translated and updated by European magicians, monks, and mystics who preserved the original Hebrew frameworks. The Greater Key is a manual of angelic invocation. It includes consecrations, prayers, planetary invocations, and instructions for creating talismans. It emphasizes purity, alignment with divine will, and the invocation of heavenly forces. The Lesser Key, especially the Ars Goetia, is a manual for commanding 72 spirits, intelligences once bound by Solomon using a brass vessel and the divine name of God. The spirits serve purposes such as finding treasure, gaining favor, influencing love, summoning armies, revealing knowledge, and uncovering secrets. What makes these grimoires unique is that they are operational. They're not myth or theology. They're instruction manuals. Tools, timing, and divine names must be used precisely. The magician must be pure in body and intent. Every detail matters, because when executed correctly, the rituals produce real results. These grimoires did not survive by accident. They were copied, hidden, smuggled, translated, and transmitted by underground networks of magicians, alchemists, and mystics. Many risked excommunication or death to preserve these teachings. They are not fiction. They are systems. And Solomon was their original architect. Chapter 4. The difference between the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon. The Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon are often spoken about in the same breath, but they are two distinct grimoires with different purposes, tones, and approaches to magic. Both are attributed to the legendary wisdom of King Solomon, but they serve different ends. The Greater Key of Solomon, Clavicular Solomon's. The Greater Key is a book of divine invocation. It centers around working with angelic forces, planetary intelligences, and divine spirits. It outlines how to purify the body in space, how to construct magical tools like wands, swords, pentacles, and circles, and how to perform rituals in alignment with planetary hours and astrological influences. Its energy is elevated, celestial, and reverent. You do not command angels, you invoke them. You do not threaten them, you align with them. The Greater Key provides incantations written in the voice of humility and devotion. The magician, in this text, acts as a channel of divine will. Typical uses of the Greater Key include a calling upon angels for healing or guidance, a creating talismans for wealth or protection, a aligning with planetary forces for success in ventures, a consecrating spaces and tools to hold sacred power. It is a priestly grimoire, a temple book, a tool for divine elevation. The Lesser Key of Solomon, Leamington, especially Ars Goetia. The Lesser Key, by contrast, is a book of command and control. Its most famous section, the Ars Goetia, deals with the evocation of 72 spirits whom Solomon allegedly bound in a brass vessel. These spirits are not fallen angels in the Christian sense, but they are elemental, chthonic, and rebellious. Where the Greater Key lifts you up to heaven, the Lesser Key allows you to pull power up from the underworld, if you can control it. The tone is different. You draw a protective circle. You place the spirit seal in a triangle outside the circle. You recite conjurations in the name of God, the archangels, and the divine forces, not to worship, but to compel. Typical uses of the Lesser Key include a gaining treasure or material success, a influencing people in power, a discovering secrets or hidden knowledge, a manipulating love or lust, a causing or averting destruction, a exposing lies, corruption, and enemies. It is a royal grimoire, a warlock's weapon, a system of spiritual dominion. The real difference. The Greater Key is a magnet of the divine. The Lesser Key is a scepter of the magician. One invokes with prayer. The other commands with seals. One asks. The other demands. But both require purity, preparation, and mastery of the self. To attempt Goetic summoning without spiritual discipline is like giving a child a loaded gun. And to call upon angels without respect is to close the door before it opens. Solomon ruled both worlds because he understood this balance. Chapter 5. The 72 Angels of the Greater Key, names and what they help with. These 72 angels, derived from 3 verses in Exodus, Shem HaMephorash, represent divine intelligences linked to every degree of the zodiac. Each angel rules over specific qualities and can be called for guidance, healing, clarity, and miracles. Below is the complete list with functions. 1. Vihuya, willpower, courage, initiations. 2. Gelial, love, peace between couples. 3. Cittarel, protection against adversity. 4. Elamaya, travel, self-discovery. 5. Mahasia, learning from mistakes. 6. Lilahel, fame, illumination. 7. Akaya, patience, inner truth. 8. Kahatel, harvests, divine blessings. 9. Haziel, forgiveness, mercy. 10. Aladia, recovery, renewal. 11. Lauvia, victory, prophetic dreams. 12. Harhaya, shelter, inner sanctuary. 13. Iezalel, loyalty, memory. 14. Mebahel, justice, freedom. 15. Hariel, purity, science. 16. Hakamaya, royalty, fidelity. 17. Lauvia, revelation, triumph. 18. Kaliel, truth in legal cases. 19. Luvia, intelligence, memory. 20. Pahalia, vocation, spirituality. 21. Nelchel, academic success, breaking curses. 22. Yael, wealth, commercial success. 23. Melahel, herbal healing, protection. 24. Hahuya, divine shelter, justice. 25. Nithaya, occult wisdom. 26. Haraya, diplomacy, politics. 27. Irathel, peace, social justice. 28. Sahaya, longevity, protection. 29. Ryle, liberation, breaking addictions. 30. Ornal, peace of mind, intuition. 31. Lekabel, creativity, intelligence. 32. Vasaria, mercy, clemency. 33. Yehuya, loyalty, order. 34. Lehahaya, obedience, calm. 35. Chavakaya, reconciliation, family peace. 36. Menadel, work, vocation. 37. Aniel, philosophical insight. 38. Harmaya, ritual purity, sacred rites. 39. Rehail, respect between parents and children. 40. Iazel, consolation, liberation from grief. 41. Hahahel, divine mission, martyrdom. 42. Mikhail, political and legal protection. 43. Vulia, prosperity, success. 44. Yelaya, courage, trials. 45. Selaya, motivation, renewal. 46. Ariel, revelation of secrets. 47. Asalia, contemplation, divine insight. 48. Mihiel, harmony in couples. 49. Vowel, elevation, inspiration. 50. Daniel, eloquence, legal affairs. 51. Hahasia, healing, universal medicine. 52. Imamia, endurance, liberation from enemies. 53. Nanarel, meditation, higher learning. 54. Nithal, charisma, eternal youth. 55. Mebahaya, moral clarity. 56. Poil, fulfillment of requests. 57. Nemamiah, strategic planning, victory. 58. Yaelel, emotional healing. 59. Harahel, intellectual fertility. 60. Mitzrael, inner freedom. 61. Umabel, friendship, affinity. 62. Iahel, spiritual wisdom. 63. Aniannual, faith, unity. 64. Mehil, creativity, writing. 65. Damabaya, maritime success, purity. 66. Manacle, calm, sleep, dream healing. 67. Ale, transformation, longevity. 68. Habuhia, fertility, agriculture. 69. Rochelle, restitution, lost items. 70. Jabamaya, alchemy, regeneration. 71. Hiel, bravery, protection. 72. Mumaya, miracles, rebirth. These angels are summoned not with domination, but with humility, respect, and sacred timing. Chapter 6. How to summon the 72 angels of the Greater Key. Summoning angels is not about power over them, it's about spiritual alignment. Unlike Goetic spirits, angels are invited, not commanded. They respond to purity, resonance, and sacred timing. The system laid out in the Greater Key of Solomon provides a framework for doing this effectively and safely. Step 1. Purify yourself. You must be clean in body, mind, and intention. Fast or eat simply the day before. Avoid intoxication, lust, or conflict. Bathe and anoint yourself with sacred oil. Wear clean linen or white garments only used for ritual. Angels resonate with divine order. Sloppiness or impurity breaks the link. Step 2. Prepare your tools. You'll need the angel sigil, drawn by hand in black ink on clean white paper. White candles, 7 recommended. Frankincense or myrrh incense. A ritual circle, chalked or roped with the names of God. A copy of the psalm or divine name associated with the angel. A quiet space with no interruptions. Optional but powerful, planetary talismans, a consecrated wand or dagger, and planetary hour tracking. Step 3. Choose the right timing. Each angel is tied to a specific zodiac degree, day of the week, and planetary hour. Use a planetary timing calculator or grimoire calendar to align your ritual accordingly. Examples. Vihuya, 1 degree Aries, performed during a waxing moon in Aries on a Sunday at sunrise. Leela, 20 degrees Aries Venus hour on a Friday morning. Correct timing strengthens the connection dramatically. Step 4. Construct the space. Cast the circle using divine names, YHVH, Adonai, Elohim. Place the angel's sigil in front of you. Light the candles and incense. Face east or the direction aligned to the angel's energy. Breathe slowly, ground yourself, and speak clearly. Step 5. Invoke the angel. Recite the psalm or verse. Call the name of the angel 3 times. Speak your request respectfully but specifically. Divine angel, name. I call you forth in the name of the Most High. Aid me in goal. Align me with the divine plan. I ask this with humility and truth. Pause, listen, sense their presence. Step 6. Close and give thanks. End with gratitude. Go now in peace, and may your light remain with me. Extinguish candles respectfully. Record your experience in a ritual journal. Important. Never try to summon multiple angels at once. Never perform if you're emotionally disturbed. These are divine intelligences. Treat them with reverence. When done properly, angelic invocation opens gates of light, inspiration, and miracle. Chapter 7. The 72 Spirits of the Lesser Key, Goetia, Names and Powers. These spirits are known as the 72 Spirits of the Ars Goetia. They are not inherently evil, but they are raw, ancient intelligences who demand authority and discipline. Here is the full list. 1. Baal, invisibility, commanding respect. 2. Agars, languages, stopping enemies. 3. Vasago, past and future insights. 4. Gamagin, necromancy, liberal sciences. 5. Marbas, healing, mechanical knowledge. 6. Veilfar, thievery, criminal alliances. 7. Amorn, love, friendship, predictions. 8. Barbotos, animal communication, lost treasures. 9. Paimon, arts, philosophy, commanding legions. 10. Bure, healing, herbal medicine, morality. 11. Gusion, divination, reconciliations. 12. Citri, love and lust. 13. Beleth, attraction, relationships. 14. Larahe, causing battles and conflict. 15. Eligos, strategy, hidden knowledge. 16. Zephyr, causing love, fertility. 17. Botis, secrets, danger warnings. 18. Bathin, astral travel, herb knowledge. 19. Salos, love and desire. 20. Person, hidden things, treasures. 21. Marax, astronomy, liberal arts. 22. IPOs, boldness, charisma. 23. Aim, fires, wit, manipulation. 24. Naberius, rhetoric, loyalty. 25. Glaciolabulas, bloodshed, invisibility. 26. Bune, wealth, speaking with the dead. 27. Ronov, languages, persuasion. 28. Berith, alchemy, metal transmutation. 29. Astaroth, past, present, future knowledge. 30. Fornius, eloquence, reputation. 31. Foras, invisibility, longevity. 32. Asmodee, hidden treasures, math. 33. Garp, love, hatred, manipulation. 34. Furfur, love and storms. 35. Marcosias, battle strategy. 36. Stolas, astronomy, plants. 37. Phoenix, poetry, musical ability. 38. Halfas, weaponry, fortification. 39. Malfas, espionage, structures. 40. Raum, theft, political chaos. 41. Focala, drowning, ocean winds. 42. Vipa, naval strategy. 43. Sabnok, defense, fortresses. 44. Shax, theft, deception. 45. Vine, revealing witches, secrets. 46. Bifrons, necromancy, astrology. 47. Yuval, love and favors. 48. Hargenti, alchemy, gold transmutation. 49. Crocel, mysticism, water noises. 50. Furkas, philosophy and logic. 51. Balaam, divination, understanding. 52. Aloses, astronomy, strategy. 53. Cameo, animal speech, water secrets. 54. Murmur, necromancy, philosophy. 55. Orobas, truth, favor, fidelity. 56. Gremory, love and beauty. 57. Oz, madness, shapeshifting. 58. Amy, astronomy, secrets. 59. Aureas, astrology, favor. 60. Vapula, mechanics, trades. 61. Zagan, alchemy, transformation. 62. Valak, finding treasures and serpents. 63. Ondrus, conflict, murder. 64. Whores, burning enemies. 65. Andrialphus, geometry, measurement. 66. Simehes, war and travel. 67. Amdusias, music, thunder. 68. Belial, power, titles, favor. 69. Decorabia, gems, birds. 70. Seer, swift movement, hidden things. 71. Dantalion, thoughts of others, persuasion. 72. Andromalius, theft recovery, truth. These spirits each have a seal, a rank, and a specialty. The key is authority and structure. Next, you'll learn how to summon them safely. Chapter 8. How to summon the 72 Goetic spirits. Goetic spirits, unlike angels, must be commanded, not requested. These are ancient intelligences, elemental and chthonic in nature. They serve a purpose, but only if the magician follows strict protocols. Summoning them requires discipline, confidence, preparation, and above all, spiritual authority. Step 1. Inner preparation. Do not summon when emotionally unstable, ill, or afraid. Perform daily banishing or purification rituals for 3 days prior. Know exactly which spirit you're summoning and why. You are not playing. You are entering into a legal negotiation with a being older than your ancestors. Step 2. Set the ritual space. You'll need a protective circle, inscribed with divine names and angelic guards, usually in Latin or Hebrew. The triangle of art, placed outside the circle, where the spirit will appear or focus its presence. The spirit sigil, drawn by hand and placed within the triangle. A consecrated dagger, wand, or staff to direct energy. Incense, sulfur, storax, frankincense, or other elemental correspondence. Candles, black, white, or planetary-colored, as appropriate. The seal of Solomon, worn or drawn, symbolizing your divine authority. A copy of the spirit's conjuration and license to depart. Optional, offerings such as a coin, wine, or incense, never blood. Set your phone to airplane mode. No interruptions. Step 3. Planetary timing. Each spirit is linked to planetary forces. Mars for warlike spirits, Venus for love, Jupiter for wealth. Choose the correct day and planetary hour. Use a planetary hour calculator or app. Examples. Ebune, for wealth, summon on a Thursday, Jupiter day, during a Jupiter hour. A Citri, for lust and attraction, summon on a Friday in a Venus hour. Astrological alignment empowers the result. Don't skip this. Step 4. The ritual. 1. Cast your protective circle using prayers or the pentagram ritual. 2. Place the triangle of manifestation outside the circle, facing north or east. 3. Set the spirit sigil inside the triangle. 4. Light candles and incense. 5. Recite the conjuration, invoking the name of God and commanding the spirit to appear. 6. State your petition clearly and without fear. 7. Repeat the spirit's name 3 times and announce your authority in the name of the Most High. 8. Listen, feel, or observe. Manifestation can be visual, auditory, energetic, or emotional. 9. Once the message or agreement is complete, read the license to depart. O Spirit, name, you have fulfilled your task. I give you license to depart in peace and without harm, to return when called and not before. Go now, by the authority of the divine names. Step 5. Closing and banishing. A snuff candles, not blow. A close the circle in reverse. A perform a final banishing ritual, LBRP, smoke cleansing, or Psalm 91. A record every detail in your ritual journal. Warnings. A never summon more than one Goetic spirit at a time. A never summon without a circle. A never make oaths you can't fulfill. A never perform Goetia for revenge, domination, or vanity. The price is never worth it. Goetia is not for the weak-hearted, but it is one of the most effective systems of spiritual power ever devised. Solomon mastered it because he mastered himself first. Chapter 9. How Religion Distorted Solomon's Magic. Solomon is honored in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. He is called a prophet, a wise king, even a temple builder. But there is one version of Solomon they never teach in Sunday school, the magician. Why? Because Solomon's system gave individuals direct access to divine and elemental power. That meant no priesthood, no middleman, no church bureaucracy. The rewriting of history. As religious institutions rose, they labeled anything outside their control as evil, satanic, or heretical. Magic, divination, angelic invocation, all once part of divine worship, became outlawed. The same spirits Solomon used for divine purposes were rebranded as demons. The same angels he summoned were now considered unreachable without clerical permission. The same wisdom texts became forbidden books. Why? Because Solomon's system made you sovereign. Not a sheep. Not a sinner. Not a subject. A creator. The great theft. Entire libraries of occult knowledge were burned. Grimoires were banned. Astrologers were jailed. Women were labeled witches. Knowledge became a threat. But here's the truth. Solomon never worshipped spirits. He didn't reject God, he worked through divine names. He aligned heaven and earth, not as a servant, but as a ruler. Religion wanted obedience. Solomon taught mastery. So they buried his teachings in fear, shame, and superstition. But the keys never died. They survived in secret societies, underground orders, and dusty libraries. And now, those keys are in your hands. Chapter 10. How to use Solomon's teachings to manifest power, wealth, and sovereignty. Solomon didn't beg for power. He built it. He aligned with divine order, commanded spiritual forces, and ruled both the visible and invisible worlds. Now it's your turn. Step 1. Reclaim your authority. Stop waiting for permission. Stop believing that magic is dangerous, evil, or out of reach. You are the architect of your reality. You were born with the right to. A call on angels for protection, healing, and guidance. A summon spirits for knowledge, wealth, and defense. A build altars, perform rituals, and craft your own fate. Step 2. Study and practice. Master the greater key. Learn the names of the angels. Memorize the divine names. Align your work with planetary timing. Practice purification and sacred prayer. Master the lesser key. Study the 72 spirits. Learn their seals and domains. Practice authority, not arrogance. Never summon without reason or structure. Keep a ritual journal. Track results. Refine your craft. Step 3. Embody sovereignty. This isn't about worship. This is about will. Solomon didn't serve blindly, he ruled wisely. You are not here to suffer. You are here to command, create, and uplift. Whether your goal is wealth, protection, justice, love, or spiritual power, these systems work. They are tested, ancient, and real. But they only obey the disciplined, the truthful, the sovereign. You now have the keys. Walk with reverence. Command with clarity. Manifest with honor. Welcome to the temple. Welcome to the throne. Welcome to the path of Solomon. You've just been handed the keys that empires were built on. Secrets buried by the church. Magic stolen by monarchs. Wisdom whispered in dark temples and sealed behind golden veils. And now it's yours. But power ignored is power wasted. And knowledge without action is just another form of enslavement. So listen carefully, this is your final instruction. Like this video as an offering. Seal your presence in this circle. Share it with those who walk the edge of knowing, your coven, your kin, your fellow sovereigns. Subscribe to the Duchy of Wealth, because every video is a ritual, every word a spell, and every secret one step closer to your empire. This isn't entertainment. This is initiation. You didn't come here to consume, you came here to awaken. So raise your head, witch. Fix your crown, conjurer. Light your candles, high priestess. The spirits are listening. The angels are watching. The power is pulsing at your fingertips. Now claim it. Command it. And don't you dare leave without subscribing, because your wealth, your power, and your future just might depend on it. Welcome to the Duchy of Wealth. The throne has been waiting for you.